right. So my name's Ashley Van Dyne. I teach yoga at Planet Granite, Santa Clara and Sunnyvale. And today we're going to do an hour long, so 60-minute power yoga class. And today what we're going to kind of focus on are twists. And the reason why I tend to associate power yoga with twisting is, one, there's a physical challenge around it, and we'll get to that focus in just a second. Physically, we're looking to rotate the spine, and we're looking to kind of compress, to apply compression to the internal organs, which has its own physical benefits. But from a sort of like a mental, emotional standpoint, what twists have the tendency to do is to focus our awareness inside of our body. Ideally, when you're twisting from around the navel, and that compression draws our attention kind of into our bodies, into this area. And when you have your awareness gathered inside of you, you have more access to your energy. For the climbers who are practicing with me, you've experienced this when you're climbing. If you're distracted, if your awareness is all over the place, we don't feel like we have as much access to our strength, to our abilities. So all that is going to kind of reveal itself as we go through the practice. If you have a block or something that can act as a block, go ahead and grab that. And we'll start seated. So if you want to sit on your block or a cushion or a blanket, just anything so that ideally your hips are a little higher than the height of the knees. And you can get your spine nice and tall. Let's just take a couple moments here to kind of settle in, to establish ourselves in our practice. So you can let your eyes close. And just sense your spine extending up vertically, just nice and balanced with the earth. Rest your hands. And take a moment just to let go of whatever the events of the day were, whatever led up to this moment. Just for now, set it aside. And let go of any anticipation of the future, of whatever is coming next. So the mind is neither leaning forward nor back. Start to settle into your body. And when you feel present, and when you feel aware, let your breath begin to deepen. And you can create a little soft ujjayi for today's practice. So just that gentle constriction in the back of the throat so the breath moves a little slower, so that it's a little bit more full. And as you continue to deepen your breath, start to feel on each inhale the chest filling. So you're inviting your breath to fill your lungs, to expand the chest, maybe even lift the collarbones and lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, try to keep that feeling of buoyancy in the chest and start to squeeze your navel gently towards the spine, just pressing the breath out. So each inhale, your chest fills, you might even lengthen just another millimeter more. As you exhale, try to keep that lift through the chest, through the spine, and just start to squeeze the navel towards the back body. Let's just take a couple more breaths like that. Each inhale expands and lengthens, like you're drawing awareness and breath in. And each exhale, with focus, with attention, navel towards the spine. And just twice more on your own. Keep that lift through the spine. On your next inhale, sweep the arms wide. Reach them up and overhead. And as you exhale, let the hands slide into heart center. And bow your forehead to your fingertips and feel as though you've arrived now in your practice for the next hour with the intention to build focus, to build your energy, to build your power. If you'd like to dedicate your practice, now is the time to just take a moment to find an authentic dedication for yourself or for others. When you're ready to, you can let your hands drop into your lap, let your eyes open, and we'll go ahead and come onto all fours. So if you do have a block, you can just place it up near the top corner of your mat so that it's nearby when you need it. Your wrists are underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips. And we'll just start by linking movement and breath. So as you inhale, you can let the chin lift, feel the collarbones spread, gaze forward. And as you exhale, begin to round the spine, but then press back. So you're letting the belly find the thighs, the hips find the heels. Forehead can sink towards the ground. As you inhale, lift yourself back up, chin lifts and gaze forward. And as you exhale, slide your toes under, and this time start to stretch back to your first down dog. Nice deep bend in the knees, lengthening the spine. And let's just continue to move. So inhaling will drop you down to all fours. So that seamless exhale presses you back into child's pose. Inhaling again to slowly lift. And exhaling to downward facing dog. Okay. And twice more. Let the poses kind of deepen a little bit more each time. Maybe even more importantly, you'll let the breath deepen. With each inhale, you feel the chest fill. And with each exhale, again, navel squeezes towards the back body slightly. So you're starting to engage the belly here. Let's go ahead and come through that one more time. And the next time you settle into down dog, we'll hold there just a couple breaths. And as always, if you want to pedal out your legs a little bit, if you want to kind of ease your way into your body in your own way, you take 2 or 3 deep and slow breaths while you do that. And let the head turn from side to side. Make sure that the palms are pressing down. Good. And then on your next inhale, let's slowly roll forward to plank. So lift up high into the balls of the feet and then roll forward one vertebrae at a time. If you need to wiggle the feet back, go ahead and do that here so that you're in plank. And then lift the hips up and press back again, down dog. And if you're in a slightly longer stance, that's fine. You won't be there for very long. And do that again. Inhale, slowly roll forward. When the shoulders come over the wrists, feel the belly continue to lift. Navel squeezes back. And exhale, hips up and back. Again, inhale, roll forward. And this time as you exhale, you're lowering all the way down onto the ground. So drop down onto the knees if you prefer. Okay, when you come down, untuck the toes. And you're going to clear a little space on either side of your mat so that you can sweep one arm at a time forward. We're going to start with our hands on the low back, palms face the ceiling. You can rest the forehead on the ground. And we're going to move opposite arm and opposite leg. So as you inhale, you're going to sweep the right arm out to the side. So think like half a snow angel on the belly. Reach it forward as you lift the left leg up. And as you exhale, retrace your steps, turning your head away from the sweeping arm. So turn it to the left. As you inhale, left arm and right leg lift. Keep the back and the neck long. And as you exhale, slowly release. Head turns to the right. Twice more on each side with your breath. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Maybe lifting a little higher. Exhale. Inhale, right arm, or left arm, right leg. And exhale. Last round. Both legs up and both arms sweep forward. If that's a little much in the low back, you can squeeze the elbows back so that the palms are facing the ground, hands are right about level with or in line with the shoulders. And we're just going to hold here for 3 more breaths. So as you inhale, see if you can lift from the inner thighs, lengthening the spine forward. And as you exhale again, pause, find focus and strength. 1 more breath. And as you exhale, slowly release. Bring the hands down by the upper chest. On your next inhale, shoulders roll back, curl up for cobra. And as you exhale, squeeze the belly back, coming through all 4s to downward facing dog. Take your 2 or 3 deep breaths here. And inhale, bend the knees, lift the heels, look forward. As you exhale, you can step, you can walk, you can hop. The feet to that spot between the hands, forward fold. As you inhale, rise halfway up, extend your heart forward. And as you exhale again, belly to the thighs. Maybe a little bend in the knees as you fold. Okay, let's drop the seat low. Fingertips can brush the ground, sit back into chair. And then press to the heels to rise all the way up to standing. And exhale your hands to heart center. So if you're not already there, feet at the top of the mat, hip width distance apart. And we're going to come through dynamic chair. So just a few rounds to help kind of warm up the body a little bit more. Helps if you keep that in mind as we move through it. On an inhale, just lift the arms, reach them up. As you exhale, sink your hips nice and low. So the weight's going in the heels. And then in the second part of that exhale, belly drapes over the thighs. You drop the head, you drop the arms. As you inhale, first half of the inhale, you lift a chair. And then that same inhale, you're pressing all the way up to standing. We'll do that a couple more times. So exhaling, first fully express chair, and then fold over chair lifts. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the arms, sit back in the chair, and then press all the way up to standing. Okay, twice more with your breath. Each exhale, start to feel, again, navel pulling towards the back body, drawing focus and attention in. And each inhale, just filling the lungs, creating more lift. Good, and then release the arms to the sides. Continue to let the chest, the collarbones, the spine all lift up tall. Take 1 neutral breath. And then on your next inhale, arms sweep wide. Lift the gaze if that's comfortable. Exhale, flat back to your forward fold. As you inhale, rise halfway up. Send the heart forward. As you exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Okay, pause here in plank. Extend your chest forward. Feel the belly engaged. Feel the inner thighs lifted. Rock forward on the toes. And let's lower down. You can come to the ground for cobra. Or through chaturanga, maybe pausing for an extra breath. Cobra or upward facing dog. And we'll press back, downward facing dog. 2 deep breaths. Your inhale fills your lungs. Your exhale squeezes the belly back. Inhale gathers breath. Exhale focuses awareness at the belly. Good. Go ahead and bend the knees, lift the heels, look forward. And then step or hop lightly to the top of the mat. Inhale, rise halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come through chair. Drop your seat low, lift the arms all the way up. And hands to heart center, exhaling. Okay, there's no pause in the breath, so no pause in the body. Inhale, arms up. Exhale and fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, plant, step back, and lower down. Again, maybe an extra breath, pausing in chaturanga, find your strength. And then inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog, 2 breaths. And deep breath in, bend the knees. Exhale, top of the mat. Inhale, rise halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come through chair. And rise all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, so bring the inner edges of your feet together. Heels about an inch apart. We're going to come into our chair twist. And you're going to try to keep the heart higher than the hips, even as you twist. So palms can press against one another at the heart. As you start to sink back, and you're imagining that that chair is behind you, so get your hips low. As you inhale, lift the chest here. As you exhale, you're going to let the hips sink a little lower and twist to the right. Left elbow hooks on the outside of the right knee. As the palms press together, you're using that as leverage, not just to twist, but to lengthen your spine. As you inhale, send the chest forward. As you exhale, squeeze your belly back and see if there's a little bit more space to twist. Just one more breath. And then without lifting up, back in the chair at center. If you need to take a break, you're welcome to come up for air, straightening the legs, but if you can, straighten to that other side with your next exhale. Okay. And then twist. Each inhale is where you build length in the spine. Each exhale, that action of the navel pulling back is what helps the body twist more. Just one more breath. And then release and forward fold. Inhale, grow the spine long. Send the heart forward. Exhale, plant the hands, step back. Okay, how powerful do you want your practice to be today? You can head to down dog, or you can flow through a vinyasa. Just make that part your own, unique for you, and unique for this day. Take a deep breath in, sweep your right leg up to the sky. As you exhale, step your right foot inside the right hand, drop your back heel to the ground. Inhale, smooth, slow, lift to warrior one. As you exhale, plant the hands, step back in either vinyasa or down dog. Inhale, left leg sweeps high. Exhale as seamlessly as you can. Left foot steps, right heel down. Use your inhale to lift up. And your exhale takes you to down dog or the bottom of chaturanga. Okay, take those 2, 3 deep breaths. And inhaling, fill the lungs. Exhale, navel towards the spine. Bend the knees, lift the heels, step or hop lightly. Forward fold. Inhale. Slowly rise all the way to standing. And exhale, hands to heart center. Just pause for a moment. Take the hands to the heart, let your eyes close. And give yourself just this little pocket of stillness. As your body is warmed up, as your breath has become more deliberate, just notice if anything else has shifted, anything else has changed in your focus or your awareness, the way your body feels. And then establish a really deep, this very smooth breath. You're going to try to maintain that as we move through this next little series. Okay, so, inner edges of the feet together again. Heels can be about an inch apart, but big toes can touch. And then again, you're going to sink down into your chair. Squeeze the inner thighs towards one another. Keep your spine lifted. And then again, you're going to twist to the right. So left elbow hooks outside of the right knee. Press the palms together. Find your length on your inhale. Squeeze your belly back as you exhale. Okay. Look down to the ground. Super steady gaze. Keep squeezing the inner thighs together and try to shift your weight onto your right foot and lift the left foot up off of the ground, pointing the toes back. As gently as the moment allows, you're going to step that left foot all the way to the back of the mat. If you want to bring the knee down, you can, or keep it lifted and straighten your left leg. And reestablish your intention around your twist. Your inhale lengthens the front of the body. Your exhale twists the belly towards that inner right thigh. Just one more deep breath. And as you exhale, slowly release. Hands come down, step it back. Again, down dog or vinyasa. Your choice, what serves you. And down dog, one more deep breath. Take a deep breath in, bend your knees, lift your heels like your body is a little spring, sink the hips low. And exhale, hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, belly to the thighs. Inhale, let's come up with a flat back. And rise all the way up to standing. When the hands get to heart center, close your eyes. And as quickly as you can, drop back into your breath. So this pocket of stillness will be a little shorter. As the mind gets maybe a little bit more used to coming back to the breath, to coming back to awareness. Good, and then we come to the other side, so that breath, keep it at that even cadence, let that support you. Start to sink the hips, sit back into your chair. On your next exhale, you twist to the left. Okay, find the length through the front of the spine. Find the twist from the belly. Turn the gaze to the ground. Get focused, so your awareness and your strength gathered inside of you. Shift onto the left foot, lift the right. As gently as you can, step the right foot, reach it as far back as it'll go. And then again, reestablish your twist. Lengthening through the entire spine on your inhale. Twisting from the belly as this navel squeezes back on your exhale. Good. With your next exhale, go ahead and release. Hands come down. I'm opting for down dog. You might opt for a vinyasa. It's less important exactly the position your body ends up in. And those kind of transitions in between sequences. It's to regain composure, to regain your breath. Okay. Let's go ahead and inhale and sweep the right leg up to the sky. As you exhale, you're stepping your right foot forward. If you have a block, move it a little closer, so you might want it maybe inside of your right foot, maybe outside, you'll see. And then step your back foot in so that the distance between the feet, maybe 3.5 feet apart, so a little shorter than usual. And then go ahead and come up to standing. Straighten both legs. Take your hands on your hips and see that the hips square towards whatever wall is in front of you. And then we're going to move dynamically before we come into a revolved triangle. So take your right hand onto your low back. Palm faces the back wall. Press into your back heel. As you inhale, extend your left arm for the seam. And feel as though here, that arm is an extension of the spine. So everything from tailbone to fingertips, you're going to try to keep in a straight line. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, maybe a little micro bend in that right knee. With a completely flat back, reach forward, chin in, and come down as far as you comfortably can with length. As you inhale, extend farther forward, extend the heart forward with a flat back, lift up. And do that twice more. As you exhale, chin in, belly squeezes back, reach forward to come down. As you inhale, again extend the spine longer. You might bend the right knee more if that feels like a lot for the low back. Rise up. And last time, exhaling, slow, all the way down. Inhale, all the way back up. And exhale this time, come halfway down. Spine in line with the ground, and then you're going to drop the left fingertips down. They'll either come onto the ground inside of the right foot, or if you have a block, you might place it there. Pull your right hip back, and again, as we come into our twist, Sapavrita Trikonasana, think about lengthening your spine as you twist to the right. If it's comfortable in the shoulders, right arm can extend up. And then just 3 breaths. So we're not going to use up all of our strength here. We want to build strength. So bring your awareness into the pose. Inhaling, fully expand the lungs. And exhale, just squeeze the belly back, twist maybe a little bit more. Last breath. Good. And then slowly start to release the twist. The legs will stay in that same position. Hands can either come onto the ground, you can come onto a block, and allow yourself to lengthen the chest forward and to forward fold. So coming into your pyramid pose. If you want to add a challenge, and if you feel pretty steady, the hands can come onto the low back. Your right hand wraps around your left wrist. Shin draws in. Shoulders are soft. And breath as slow and smooth as you can get it. Go ahead and slowly bend the knee, block off to the side, step it back. Head to down dog first, just neutralize the spine, and then if you choose to, through your vinyasa. Just 1 or 2 more centering breaths in down dog. And then on your next inhale, left leg lifts up. Exhale, step that left foot forward. Place your block now, if you're going to use it. Scoot the back foot in slightly. And then we'll come up to standing. Okay. So find your spacing, find the hips, square them. Make sure the back heel can press into the ground, otherwise you might just shorten your stance a little bit. Left hand to the low back. Inhale the right arm up. And 3 times with your breath. Exhale, chin in, flat back. Reach forward. Just coming down as far as you comfortably can. Find more length, extend more, so you're building strength in the back to lift you up. 2 more times. Come halfway down, keep pulling the left hip back, bring the right hand back, and slowly start to twist to the left. Stacking the shoulders, lengthening the chest forward. Maybe left arm reaches up. And 3 breaths with intention. And slowly start to release the twist. Allow your body to forward fold. Either fingertips on the ground or hands low back. And left wrist will grab the right hand. Super soft gaze. Relax any tension in the shoulders, any tension around the breath. And then slowly start to release. The hands can come down when they plant, either down dog first, and then either stay there for a couple breaths, or you can come through and flow through a vinyasa. Let's take a deep breath in, bend the knees, lift the heels, look forward. Again, as you exhale, the bottom of the exhale, the belly squeezes back, you send the hips up, and then forward. Forward fold at the top of the mat. And let's just pause in that forward fold for a moment. Drop the head. You can choose to bend the knees, or you can choose to be more active. Letting the hips lift, letting the backs of the legs straighten. The hands behind the ankles. And see if even here you can find that your inhale helps you lengthen. And your exhale now creates more space for the body to fold. And then slowly start to release. Come halfway up. Little bend in the knees. Take your hands on your hips. Exhale there. And then inhale, slowly rise up. Shin draws down. Just especially if you feel yourself lightheaded when you come up from forward folds, it tends to help a little bit. And drop the arms down. And go ahead and pause. You can let yourself stand tall. You can allow the eyes to close. Just see how quickly you can drop back into your breath. Keep your breath even. If you have a block, you're going to take it maybe it's like 18 inches, a foot and a half out in front of the feet. You can adjust it if you don't get it in just the right spot. If you don't have a block, the hands just come into the ground and that'll be fine too. So we're going to come into Garandasana first, so eagle pose. You're going to let the weight shift onto the right foot. And we'll start with the hands on the hips. You have a couple options. So for Garandasana, you can cross left thigh over right, sink the hips low enough to come into like a little kickstand, toes down, or you keep wrapping so that the left foot comes behind the right ankle. If you want to add the arms, take a deep breath in, extend the arms out. And as you wrap them back in, right elbow drops underneath the left. You can give yourself a little hug or intertwine the arms so the palms touch. So the fingertips reach up for the ceiling. And so the spine lengthens. Go ahead and settle in there for a moment and take a breath or two. And you can choose to stay upright or just briefly let yourself forward fold. Challenging your balance, challenging my balance. As you let the spine round, let the belly come towards that top thigh. And smoothly, evenly rise back up. Freeing the legs this time. Slowly start to lean forward. Kick that left leg back. Hips level with the ground. Reach your fingertips forward. Pause for a breath. Inhale, find length. And as you exhale, start to release the arms. Your left hand is coming onto your block. Your right hand to your right hip as you come into another twist. So Pavrita Ardha Chandrasana, revolved half moon. Lift through that inner left thigh. Lengthen through the front of the body. Stack the shoulders and maybe right fingertips reach up. Not very long of a hold today. So get really deliberate. Inhale, find length. Exhale, squeeze the belly back, turn just a little bit more. Last deep breath in. And as you exhale, bend that back knee. Release your twist as the left foot comes down. Adjust and forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway up so that you can fill the lungs, especially if you haven't taken a deep breath in a little bit. And then exhale, belly to the thighs and fold. Let's inhale, rise all the way back up to standing. Flat back. Arms can lift. And then hands to heart center. Close your eyes. Just a breath or two to find balance. And to slow the breath down, to slow your heart rate down. And then we'll slowly start to come over to the other side. This time the weight's coming into the left leg. Garandasana legs first. When you feel balanced, you add the arms. Left elbow underneath right. Up through the fingertips, down through the tailbone. You can stay there or just briefly rounding the spine, belly towards the thighs. See if you can stay smooth in the movement and your breath. Rising back up. And as you're ready to begin to release the legs, send that right leg back, reach the fingertips forward. Find that version of Warrior 3. Reestablish length through the spine. And then slowly start to release the arms. Take as much time as you need. Right hand comes down. Right heel kicks back. Inner right thigh lifts as you turn to the left. And just 3 very deep breaths. Can you bring all of your focus, all of your awareness into this pose? Full breath. Good. And then slowly start to bend the right knee, placing the right foot down as you release your twist into your forward fold. Inhale and come halfway up, fill your lungs. Exhale and forward fold. Do that twice more just to come back into the cadence of your breath. So inhale and exhale. And plant your hands. You can step back to plank. And we'll lower all the way down onto the ground. Okay, as you come down, see that the toes point back. And we're going to come into Shavasana, so locust pose, which we've already been in today, where the legs are up and the arms are up. For this one though, we're going to draw the arms either down along the sides, the palms turn towards the ground, or if it's comfortable, interlace your hands at your low back, roll the shoulders back, and you'll lift up from here. So as you inhale, inner thighs squeeze together, lift the legs, lift the head, lift the chest. Exhale and hold here. Steady your gaze. As you inhale, if it's comfortable, you can lift up a little bit more. Again, exhale, super steady. Release your breath. And then gently release. And release the hands down, stacking them one on top of the other. Turn your head to a side and just pause. Rest for a moment. Take a breath or two. Okay. All right, so we're going to come into, really it's going to be 2 more back bends because they're asymmetrical, so we have to do each side. And if you're pretty good with the amount of energy that you have put into your practice today and you want something more gentle, you're just going to keep the hands stacked. You'll bend one knee, so you can start with the left knee, and you'll reach back with the opposite arm to hold on to the foot, and you'll just stretch your quad, and it'll feel nice. If you want to join me, it's half Shavasana, but we're going to do it, really it's like half Garandasana, so wheel pose. And you'll extend. We're going to bend the left knee. Extend your left arm forward so that the outer edge, the pinky side of the hand is on the ground. Reach back with the right hand, and if you can, you grab onto that foot. And then feel like the inner thighs are magnetized, so they're squeezing towards one another. And you can stay here. Or you can start to press the foot into the hand and lift the left thigh up off of the ground. You can stay there. You can lift the right leg up. Or you can lift the left arm. And then take 3 breaths. And to inhale, you don't even have to lift more, just fill your lungs. Let that be the focus. Each exhale, super steady gaze. Let's just take 1 more breath. And then gently release. Release the legs back, stack the hands, turn your head on the other side, and just pause. Be aware of that asymmetry and sensation in the body. Okay, and we'll come to the other side, and just keep in mind you pause or you stop when your body wants you to. So this time the right knee will bend. If you're extending the arm, the right arm extends forward. Left hand grabs that right foot. Shoulders roll back. Press the foot into the hand, lift the right thigh. Stay there or lift the left leg. Stay there or lift the right arm. 3 breaths. And then gently release. Release the legs back. Maybe rest the forehead this time. Sway your hips a little side to side. And slow down your breath. Alright, we'll take care of our low back. So hands by the upper chest. Press yourself up through all 4s. You can stretch back to downward facing dog. And in this one, if you know that you have like a very flexible spine and your tendency is to press the chest, the ribs towards the thighs, I'm going to do the opposite. Lift the low ribs up, like you're trying to pull them up into the body a little bit. Bend the knees, lift the heels, and let the tailbone kind of round down slightly. So it's more about releasing the low back than finding the perfect expression of down dog. Okay. And then whatever version of down dog you want to come into, so you can let the heels drop. And just 1 more deep breath. And then walk the feet right behind the hands. Bend the knees, start sinking your seat really, really low. And then as gracefully as you can, down onto your sit bones. Bring the hands down to help you if you'd like. And we're gonna release the low back a little bit more, just make sure it's taken care of, and it's gonna feel a little bit like core work. That's fine too. But you're gonna extend your legs out. Take a deep breath in, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, you're gonna let the spine round. Arms extend forward. As you start to roll back, you're gonna balance right on your sacrum. Lift the heels up, maybe palms pressed together. Just gazing at the toes. And then take a deep breath and let the heels come down. Lift the arms, reach up. And again, exhale. Round the spine. Roll back, lift the heels. Palms pressed together, 2 breaths. One more time, deep breath in, lift up. And slowly exhale. Three breaths. And heels come down, reach up. And this time we're coming into our forward fold, so if your hamstrings are tight, bend your knees, or you might sit up on a blanket. And Paschimottanasana. So lengthen through the spine, hands can grab onto anything that they find. Pull the chest forward, flatten out your back, resist the urge to round, and then draw your chin up. Spend a couple breaths trying to lengthen equally through the back of the body, so the back of the spine and the front. And then as long as you're not pulling, you can let the head drop a little bit. If the spine rounds, it does so evenly. Let yourself drop inward. Just feeling the breath start to slow. A little of the effort starts to dissipate. And then very slowly lift yourself back up. Okay. We'll come onto our backs. So, and let yourself roll down. Any little adjustments that you need so that the back of the head can rest comfortably on the ground. And we'll come through dynamic bridge. So, soles of the feet on the ground. Knees more or less stacked above the heels. And again, think about the inner thighs being magnetized, or like there's a block between them, so they really don't change that alignment, they stay parallel. As you inhale, press into your feet, lift your hips, and slowly lift the arms, first up towards the ceiling, and then all the way overhead onto the ground behind you. And as you exhale, start to come down one vertebrae at a time. And you can leave the arms where they are. And just come down really, really slow so you feel that release in the shoulders and the upper back. When the hips come down, bring the arms to the sides. So back to your starting point. Do that 3 more times. Inhaling, hips up, arms up. Exhale, roll down one vertebrae at a time. The hands kind of pinned down on the ground overhead. And once the hips find the ground, the arms release to the sides. Twice more on your own. Just feeling the belly draw back slowly, slowly with each exhale. into the feet, lift the hips up, but leave the arms on the ground along your sides. You can stay here, you can bend the elbows so the fingers point up and you start to roll the shoulder blades together, the upper arms together underneath you, or if you want to interlace the hands. And press the heels down into the ground. Kind of like you're trying to press the foot of the mat forward. It's like a gentle, you can gently dig the heels into the ground. So the hips pop up a little higher, the chest lifts higher. And just take maybe 2 or 3 deep breaths here. Feeling all that space for your breath to expand. And then when you're ready to release the shoulders out to the sides. And slowly roll down, 1 vertebrae at a time, until the hips find the mat. Let's gather the knees into the chest. Let's give your legs a little squeeze. And let the soles of the feet find the ground. And we're going to come into kind of a yin posture, but it's one of my favorites, and it'll help if you look, if you've never done it before. It's sometimes called tail of the cat. So you're going to take your left ankle and cross it behind your right heel so that the left knee can drop down onto the ground and the left hip is open in the front. And ideally your right hand is in a position where it can reach down and find the inside of the left foot. And then you draw the right knee in towards your chest. Just pulling it gently in with the opposite hand. You can imagine that there's just like the gentlest weight, the gentlest touch on that left knee, helping it, reminding it to sink down. And just take a couple slow breaths, breathing into your belly. If you want to come into one last twist, you're going to start to guide that right leg off to the left. And I usually try to scoop my hips over to the right a little bit, just to make more space for the twist. And if it feels like too much to continue to have the right hand on the inside of the left foot, you just let it go. But if it feels good in your body, you can keep holding on to it. Try to let the right shoulder unwind towards the ground. And if you have lots of space in that right hamstring, you can extend that leg out, so perpendicular to the mat. Let's take another breath or two there, letting the belly fall instead of squeezing it back as you exhale. And slowly start to unwind from your twist. And scoot the hips back through center. And we'll come to the other side. So right ankle behind the left heel, draw the left knee in. A couple breaths there to release that just right knee down, right under thigh down. Again, you can choose to stay there some days. Again, that's just the pose my body wants me to be in. Or scoot the hips a little left to come into your twist. The knee can stay bent, you can extend it out. Find something that feels good for you. Right, this is the nurturing, nourishing part of your practice. Just being a little bit more gentle, a little more generous with your body. slowly start to release. As you come onto your back, knees into the chest, give them a little squeeze, lift your head up. And then extend out for Shavasana. Feet towards the corners of the mat, arms to your sides. Let your body open. Let your body surrender. You can allow your eyes to close. You feel ready to let the control over your breath drop away. Feeling all movement, all effort vanish. Just for the next few moments, give yourself this time. This is the time that your body, your nervous system uses to integrate, to assimilate your practice. Will you just get to rest in stillness? If you have more time to stay, this is where your body would like you to be for another couple moments. Just stay as you are, turn your video off. If it's time to start to move back into the day, into the world, just deepen your breath. And try to keep a degree of softness, of inner awareness as you start to move a little bit. Eventually you'll roll over onto your right side. And slowly, in your own time, you'll press up to a comfortable seat. And let's just finish our practice in the same physical posture that we began in. Let your eyes close again. And just use this last moment before the rest of the world comes back in. As we've come full circle in our practice, notice if there's been any change, any shift in how you feel, your awareness, your energy. Let's tune into the benefits of your practice. And as you gather your hands together at your heart, feel as though you are sealing in those benefits so that they'll support you, even as you move off of your mat back into the world. Thank you so much for sharing this virtual space with me, with one another. Be well and be safe. Namaste. Alright, thank you so much for joining, those of you who are live or at some point at a later date. I'll see you soon, I hope. Take care.